Hi guys, I'm Dominic. Welcome to my channel Cloud Demo. Today I want us to do a simple tutorials on hosting a static website on S3 and then connecting it to CloudFront as a content delivery network. And maybe we'll play around with Amplify. So this is just a portfolio website I was working on, though not done. I just want to share how you can upload it to S3 and then let your website go live instantly or in minutes if you may. So as a personal best practice, because of my internet connectivity issues, I like to open up in tabs all services that I may need so that it will be easy for navigation. So straight away, I have my S3 open up here. So let's just create an S3 bucket. So we'll create a bucket, and in the bucket, we're going to upload all of our website assets. And in this case, it's an HTML file only that I use. Should you have used the CSS, you should have the style sheet. Should you have used Tailwind, you should have all of your assets. And if you had pictures and videos on your website, you upload all of these assets into the S3 bucket. And for the record, the way S3 bucket works is that should later I decide to add pictures and videos to my portfolio website, unfortunately I don't have kind of like a CI/CD pipeline for continuous improvement that will automatically update my new website, but then I'll have to re-upload all of the assets again, the new ones all over again. So assuming it's a blog post you're operating, okay, if you update or if you add a new news, okay, or newsletter, you have to re-upload the whole thing back into S3. That's how S3 works. Pardon me for my network, this is taking like forever. So yes, it's in. So we'll create a bucket. We are going to leave most of the settings on default. It's recommended to choose a general purpose for website. And so let's just pick a bucket name. The way the bucket name works is that it has to be extremely unique. It has to be extremely unique globally, because S3 has a namespace for S3 buckets names such that globally it has to be unique. So if the name I choose has been used by somebody in the whole of the Amazon customer base, you see that it will reject it. So hopefully, let's hope that it doesn't. But then essentially S3 is regional, it's regional based, but it must have a global unique name. Yes. So we just leave this setting here, and because we want people to access our the files in the S3 bucket, we are going to uncheck block all public access. For example, if you are in an organization and you have an account for your HR, okay, or for your accounting or for sales, and some of the documentations that you'll be storing or the files you'll be storing on your S3 bucket are private. They are not supposed to be accessed by anybody else but the HR department, by the IT department, by the sales department, and you make the mistake of unchecking this button, you realize that your bucket becomes public and anyone at all can access information, and it could be detrimental to your organization's image. So that's just by the way. Then if you like, you may just acknowledge this here. And then, we have versioning. You can decide to keep updates of your different files that you upload here. So for the purpose of this tutorial, we are just going to leave it disabled. In best practice, tagging helps you. So you can decide to tag your resources based on projects. So for example, this is a portfolio website project. So I can decide to tag this portfolio, though I'm not going to do it. I can decide to tag this portfolio and say S3 bucket, or yes, and say S3 bucket. So if I do this, okay, for example, and I want to know the cost of my the cost of the project, okay, that I'm doing. This is the portfolio website I'm doing. Okay, I'll just have to go to my cost and billing dashboard and then filter out the tag portfolio website, and you see that every service I use in relation to this particular project will pull out, and I'll know the total cost of the project. So tagging is a best practice, and these are encryptions that we are going to leave secure. In later videos, we'll take time to go into the types of encryption at rest, in transit, and all of those stuffs. So let's see what's at the advanced. Pretty much object lock. It allows for you to write once. Okay, so no one can actually take whatever you place there, but they can just write once, read many. So let's create our bucket. It should be done in a bit, unless otherwise something went wrong. Okay, so the bucket name was accepted. It's taking like forever. Great. So the bucket has been created. So let's upload to our bucket. Let's upload objects into our bucket. So as I said earlier, I'm just going to upload a single HTML file for the purpose of this tutorial. You can decide to drag and drop the file here, or you can just decide to upload from here. It could be a folder. Sometimes you keep all your assets in folder, you just upload the folder together. But in this case, it's just a one HTML file. So that's what I'm going to do. So yes, this is it. I'll upload it. Let's see what's here. Guys, one thing I'd like to encourage you is that when you're on the console, okay, be as curious as ever and open every Dropbox to see what's there. Okay, so by default, we are on the standard in terms of the storage classes. So in later videos, we are going to go deeper into storage classes. So we have different storage classes depending on the need, requirements in terms of regulatory requirements and your cost requirements as well. So that's just by the way. And when we have time, we'll go and do a little tutorial. We'll do a little tutorial in the checksum so that you have a fair idea of what the checksums does. It also helps with integrity of your data in the S3 packet, so that when it's being tampered with, you'll be able to know. So the tagging also comes here. So let's just upload. This should be done in a bit. Great. So yes, that took like forever, you know. Yes. Now we have uploaded our bucket. We have uploaded our objects in our bucket. So hot web gh is a bucket, and then we've uploaded our object here. Now let's see. I want you to take notice of something. You see, this is stored on my local machine and accessed from there. So you see the path to the website. Okay, take note of that. So we want to come to our bucket and let's just explore a little bit of, you can add metadata to your bucket and all of those. So you come to properties. When you come to properties, it's important that you, because it's a static website, you enable static website. So you have the opportunity to link it to CloudTrail to log events and event bridge. You can do S3 transfer acceleration and all of those stuffs. We'll get into them later. And then the request pay. There's a way that you can make someone who accesses data or files from your S3 bucket pay for some of the costs, the transfer costs especially. So in later videos, we'll go into it. Yes, so this is what I was talking about. So when it comes to the static hosting, okay, you have to enable the static hosting because it's a website you are hosting. So you indicate that it's a static website, and then this one you can leave it though optional, but you just need to indicate what your index statement is. Those of us who are familiar with web development, you notice that your index.html is kind of like your home page or like the basics document in your HTML. So we just have to indicate an error HTML that will return in case there's a failure. Okay, or our website is not reachable. So let's just save. Let's save this. This should be done in a bit. Great. It's been saved. It's been saved. So let's come to the permission aspect as well. So yes, we have the block public access as off all as. So I think we are good to go. And then yes, we are good to go. So let's just come back to the properties and pick the endpoint URL and see if our website is live from here. So let's just open it up in a new tab and see if it works. If it comes on, it means that our website is live now. Okay, so we have 4034 forbidden error indicating that our website was not live. So let's see. The issue could be, we have the option to actually use Amplify, which we'll be doing in a bit, but we'll go back to this. So I'm just opening the tab down. So let's troubleshoot why our website is not live after we hosted it, enabled public access, and then also enables S3 static. So what could it be? What could it be? So you see that we have done this enabling on the bucket. So let's see. This is the object action. What could this be? What could the fault be? Let's see if we missed something. Whoa. Yeah, I get it. We missed the bucket policy. So I'm just going to copy a bucket policy from here. Yes. You know, it's you just don't have to reinvent the wheel. So some of these bucket policies could be found online. So you just, when you go to permission, you scroll down, you see bucket policy. There's no bucket policy here, indicating how this bucket is going to be accessed, if you may. Okay, so you can just edit. Okay, then you paste the bucket policy we took from online, allowing public read get object access to the S3 bucket from the cloud. From the S3 resources. Okay, so let's just it's taking like forever. I'm going to break. Okay, so it's here. Paste. Great. So this is how bucket policies are. They are normally written in JSON, JavaScript object notation language. So the SID is a statement ID, which is public read get object. The effect is to allow. The principal is all identities, I think. And then the action is S3 get bucket, and then the resource. So what we are going to do is that we are going to change this resource to the website endpoint we have here. So let's just copy the one we got from the static website, copy, and then we change it here. Let me see. Let's just pick the ARN. Let's just pick the ARN. Sorry about that. ARN stands for Amazon Resource Name. Okay. Yes. So let's just pick the ARN. I think that will work. Let's go back to don't mind me, my mouse is moving too fast. Let's go back to our permissions, and then we'll scroll down to bucket policy. Then we'll make the edit there, and from there our website should go live. It should work now. It should work now. So just a minute. Let me get the policy again from my second monitor. Yes, so yes, and I think the bucket ARN is here, so let's pick that. So you highlight from here, then you paste. Hopefully this should work. Then we save changes. So the bucket policy provides access to the objects that are stored in the bucket. Okay, it determines or describes who has access to it, how it can be accessed. So that's just basically the bucket policy. After this, probably hopefully the website should show up, and it's taking like forever. So this morning, before I started the live stream, I was just checking my internet speed, and it was funny because it's in the case, and I'm using that for a video. Well, I should get a Starlink. Definitely, I should get a Starlink. Okay, so let's refresh endpoint and see if it works. If it works, we are safe. Then we'll move on to CloudFront. What's happening? Is that a laptop freeze? Hey, yeah. There are a lot of tabs open up. The life of a cloud engineer. Guys, spare me a few seconds to a minute and see if it regains life.